everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 build video. So in this video, I decided that I wanted to play around with the Nightclub, because as you can see, I've got my gym to the left there that I just rebuilt. I'm just kind of rebuilding this area, and it's been really fun to put in these kind of styles, and I really wanted to play around with more circular shapes, but obviously the Sims is not conducive to circles, and so I ended up going with more octagon kind of style shaping as I was building the building, and I'm still really satisfied with it. So this back portion here is actually a little VIP room, has a raised platform for dancing, and there's actually some other raised platform dancing areas as well. But yeah, I just really wanted to play around with the Nightclub idea. So there's not going to be a lot of windows on this build. I do end up adding them in at the end because I thought that they would look really nice in the area that I was putting them, and but they're some of the windows are completely non-functional to the building. They're just there for more of a style thing. So up in the top right corner, I built a little DJ booth, and then here is where I was testing how I wanted to build the security office. So that there is going to be a little security office, it's got computers in it, so that way the workers can go back to look at the security cameras essentially, and they can work as bouncers and that kind of thing is where that is. I cannot think of words to describe anything today, which is going so swell in recording this narration. So there I am building the raised dance platform, and then I do end up changing this section quite a bit just because I was trying to get us that way stuff would be blocked off. So that right there, that weird square box with the triangle thing is a coat check, so people can check their coats in there. Sorry, I'm closing off the little VIP room, and then trying to figure out how I'm going to do the bar area, because nightclubs have bars, right? And I do end up changing quite a bit of stuff as I was just trying to get it to fit into the space, because it was not working the greatest or quite the way I wanted it to, but we got it working in the end, which is the important part. And I think it actually looks really cool when we do get there. And so here's where I'm literally just trying to section stuff off, as in this thing is this, and this thing is this, and this fits here, and then I'm trying to fill in that gap. I actually have a better way of filling in that gap later. I do use that same piece though, but when I adjust it and everything. And so then here is where I built the dance platform, and I'm going to delete those walls out a little bit later. And then here's where I was building little bathrooms, because you need bathrooms, and I just left them open so Sims can use whatever bathroom they want, but there is technically 2 sets of bathrooms. And then there I am adjusting the wall and how I want that to look, and I'm actually really a lot more satisfied with it. And then I was playing around there again with trying to figure out how to get some of the stuff to work, and then putting in, I kind of jumped all over in this build because so much of the different pieces of the build were tied to the architecture, and so I was like, okay, can I make this thing work and function against this wall that I've created that needs to be here for this purpose? And so that's why I have a lot more jumping around in this one. And so here I am trying to make sure that I could actually program the dance floor. And I originally really liked these things because they glow in the dark, and that was something I wanted, because I want the Nightclub to be kind of a little bit darker, because it's called the Galaxy for a reason. So I was trying to make kind of a darker Nightclub, but then I was like, well, these floor pieces still glow, and then there I am trying to spread it out, but doubling up 4 is good enough for this particular build. And then here I am just trying to get that platform one above, so that way you can step up onto it and dance on it. And then because it was a circle, if you put a dance floor on it, it didn't look right. The dance floor would not show through in the way that you expect a dance floor to. And then as a joke, I Googled pole, not Googled, I did in the search bar, I searched for pole not expecting there to be an actual pole, and then because it was there, like it's technically a pole to hang up lights on, string up lights. Nobody has to know that though. So there's a stripper pole in the VIP room of this nightclub, which I still find so hilarious. It entertains me way too much. Then I was trying to put in all these fun neon lights, you know, because it's a nightclub. I feel like you should have neon lights. It feels like a very just normal club thing. I've never been to a club, so that's probably why I sound so awkward, is because I'm like, this is normal, right? This is what a club looks like. I've only ever seen nightclubs in movies. I don't know what a nightclub's supposed to look like. And then this little weird neon sign that won't grow bigger when you, only the rack behind it grows bigger. And I was just trying to put neon lights around, so some of them kind of look a little bit out of place. But that one I think works really well with the eatery, because there is a little, there's going to be a little sitting area where you can eat there. And then here I am putting in the bar, and I didn't quite like the dark colors because I feel like the blue lends itself more to galaxy colors, like the purples and the blues and the pinks and the blacks, and just those really dark, rich colors. And so then here I am doing the little DJ booth, and then I was like, well, the music's not going to carry out of that room if it's not attached to the room, like if it's a separate room. So I had to delete one of the wall panels, and then, as you'll see in some of the photos, all of the Sims go into the DJ booth and gather around there to dance. That's not quite what I wanted, but it's a separate DJ booth. That's the idea. There's a little separate booth there for where he's technically protected from people. So then I decided to go to the outside and try and figure out how to do this whole roof thing, and then nothing was working for the roof. I mean, look how bad that looked. Not even, and then I'm gonna sit here and fight this one for forever, and it won't let me get it any closer to the side. And then when you pull it down, it just clips through. Roofs are so awkward to work with in The Sims when you have those funky shapes. And then here I was like, ooh, I could turn the whole roof into a skylight. And then I was like, wait, how do I roof those other panels that, you know, that are sticking out, jutting out, that don't have any roof on them? And honestly, there's no good way to do it. You're gonna see how ugly this thing looks here in a second. Ain't that great? Oh yeah. That's an attractive roof right there. That's where I was like, nope, screw the roof. We're not doing a roof that way. So I went with a flat top roof by adding the half wall around it. I like that a lot better. I'm still laughing at how bad those other roofs looked. Oh my gosh. So then here I'm adding this tower. I was just trying to add some, you know, stuff of interest, essentially. Because, like, the outside of the building just did not look terribly appealing. And so I did add in these, and I'm actually really satisfied with how these turned out, how these look. So I think it really adds a lot. And then I originally added those there that I end up deleting, and then I add them back down below because I like them better down lower, because it felt like too much advertisement on the roof. Like, it makes sense at the top of that tower to have the nightclub sign around on all four sides. That way it stands above the other buildings in the area, and then you could be like, there's the nightclub. But like putting it on the shorter one, it's not a good idea. And I really wanted it to have that kind of darker theme, so I am keeping the whole building very dark. Even on the inside, it's pretty dark even after I put the lights in, because nightclubs just feel like kind of a little bit darker places to me. And then here's where I was trying to figure out how to do the little bathroom, and I ended up just creating 4 individual stalls with toilets in them. Did I ever put toilet paper? I did put in toilet paper. So good. Your Sims have toilet paper when they go to this nightclub. Not that they really need it. Then I decided to add just a couple of windows into the bathroom because it makes sense to have some sort of ventilation back there. So this is where I'm adding in the windows to the tower that are mostly just there for kind of like style, to make it look pretty good. And I think it actually does add a lot. I end up adding it to the other tower as well. Like, I wasn't so sure about that one, but I think it looks really good too. And this one, I took the floor out so that way that light does go down in there. So there is some natural light, but it's not very helpful at nighttime, if that makes sense. And then here I am adjusting the bar, and then I'm gonna add an additional one, and then just kind of moving around a bit. And I do end up moving that a little bit too, because I end up moving that one to the left, and then, but I think that just kind of really finishes that rounded into it really well. Then of course I've got to have a good front door for the nightclub, an emergency exit, which is great. And then there I am, just kind of deciding on some floor that I'm gonna have in there, like what I want the kind of stuff to look like. Sorry if you heard my desk move. It suddenly decided to go up on me. So then I'm making a cute little security office. So it's got the computers and some plants, and they can just go in there and watch things. So you got a little security door, and then the door into the coat closet, obviously. Just trying to decide what else I need to finish to make sure that I've got everything, and I decided I need to put in the floor and know what I wanted my floor to look like. I chose this kind of blue color that felt just very like, I don't know how to describe it, but it is a galaxy color in my head. And then the walls are mostly, so the main walls are black, and then I added in some blues and some purples in various places. I can't remember whether I added in any pink, but the neon lights, I think, really add in those other colors of a galaxy. And so then I had to look at it at night, of course, because you gotta know how it looks. And so then I wanted to find a right style kind of light, and I found these purple ones that added just enough light, but not too much light, and I love them for this particular look. I think that they match really well. And then I added in some extra other little lights that aren't styled for the nightclub necessarily, but just give those rooms light where need be. I actually really like those lights. I think they look really good because they look kind of like star-shaped, but then they're also purple, and so I think they just cast everything in a very, very pretty light. So then here I am adding in little tables everywhere that I want them. So the VIP lounge has a whole bunch of them, and then the external seating area is going to have a whole bunch of them. And then it wouldn't let me use those bar stools, so I had to go find another chair. And then I decided to have two different colors of chairs at all the different tables, unless it was like a table of three, and then I kind of rotated around on who got one of one color and who got two of the other. And I think it looks really nice. Like it feels very what I wanted, if that makes sense. Because I was just like, I want a nightclub, but I want it to be like galaxy themed. And I think it turned out really nice. It did. So that's almost how it looks in the dark. I do end up adding some windows here to this, and I don't cut out the floor piece on that. And I did add wallpaper and flooring on the inside to keep that same kind of dark theme going on. And then, but I do think that it looks very nice with the windows. Like it just adds a touch of something else. And so then here's the pictures from the outside. I mean, you can tell it doesn't really have a lot of windows down on the ground floor, but people are still partying away. You got people on the dance floor, people at the bar, you got the cute little security office, you got the people that were in the DJ booth where they're not supposed to be, but it's fine. I wish you could color ceilings in Sims, because that is what this build is lacking, is like a starry night sky. Like that's what I would put up there, is I would put stars up on the ceiling, and it would just finish off the look of this place. So just pretend like the ceiling in this build is a starry night sky, because that's what I'm picturing in my head. That's what would just make it perfect. Yeah, I hope you like this build, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!